May the fourth be with you, the money force you're not using. Sounds fun, right? But this isn't just a play on words, it's a wake-up call. Because while you've been grinding day after day, trying to get ahead financially, there's a powerful force at your fingertips that you've completely overlooked. And no, it's not luck. It's not some gimmick or overnight trick. It's what I call the money force, and once you learn how to use it, it's impossible to stay stuck. You see, most people are trapped in a cycle of surviving, working hard, paying bills, maybe saving a little, then repeating it all over again. But the wealthy? They tap into this force daily. It's the mindset, the systems, and the small decisions they make that compound into real, lasting wealth. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to unlock this money force, and more importantly, how to use it to transform the way you earn, spend, and grow your money starting today. So if you're ready to stop struggling and finally tap into the wealth-building power that's been sitting right under your nose, stay with me. This might just be the shift your financial future's been waiting for. Most new investors act like a young Padawan swinging a lightsaber for the first time, full of energy but totally lost. They're hypnotized by TikTok gurus promising overnight millions, or Reddit threads hyping the next crypto moonshot. It's all smoke and mirrors. Instead of focusing on long-term passive income or smart investments, they jump from one shiny trick to another. No real strategy. Just vibes. But real wealth? That's a marathon, not a light-speed sprint. It's built through financial education, daily habits, and mastering your money mindset. Think about Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. Yoda didn't teach him flashy moves, he taught patience, discipline, and belief in the process. That's how real power and real money works. You don't hack your way to financial freedom. You build it brick by brick. One smart move right now? Automate a portion of your income into index funds like VOO or SCHD. It's not flashy, but it's reliable. Instead of hunting for unicorn stocks, start with boring assets that actually work. That's how people like Warren Buffett got rich, slow, intentional compounding. Don't just follow hype, follow what's proven. Finance tips that actually matter are usually the least exciting at first. If your goal is to learn how to make money and keep it, don't act like Anakin rushing into every battle thinking power comes fast. The real Jedi know better. And in the next part, you'll see why not knowing what you're messing with can turn your money dreams into financial nightmares. Jumping into the market without understanding what you're doing is like grabbing a lightsaber with no training. You might think you're in control, but one wrong move and boom, you just cut your wallet in half. Most folks don't study the game before playing it. They hear buzzwords like crypto, NFTs, or options trading and dive in headfirst without knowing the risk-reward mechanics. That's not investing. That's gambling dressed up in finance tips. Let's get real. When you don't understand your investment, you're not just uninformed, you're vulnerable. Imagine trying to fly the Millennium Falcon with no idea what any button does. That's how people end up putting their rent money into meme stocks. It ain't cute. Smart money isn't just about how to make money fast, it's about knowing where it comes from, where it's going, and what can blow it up along the way. Start small. Read The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham or check out Ray Dalio's principles. Learn how compound interest works. Get familiar with ETFs, real estate, dividend stocks, and long-term business models. Personal finance isn't some Jedi secret, it's all out there, but it takes humility to sit down and learn. Think of it like training with Obi-Wan. You're building mental armor. Because once you understand the true forces at play, market cycles, inflation, risk tolerance, you stop playing defense and start playing offense. And when emotions come creeping in, as they always do, that's when most people really start losing the game. But more on that in a second. Emotions and investing? Man, that's the real villain behind most broken bank accounts. Fear and greed, they're like Darth Vader whispering in your ear. When the market crashes, people panic sell. When it spikes, they FOMO in. That's not strategy, that's emotional whiplash. Financial education teaches you how to stay cool, but most folks ignore it and let their feelings drive the ship straight into a black hole. Imagine you're Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame, staring down the chaos, but instead of losing your cool, you run the numbers. That's the vibe you need in personal finance. Cold, calculated decisions that lead to passive income, not panic. Let's say a stock drops 20%. An emotional investor sells. A wise one buys more after checking the fundamentals. Habits like journaling your trades or sticking to a preset plan can keep you from emotional disaster. One of the best finance tips out there? Automate your money. Set up recurring investments into index funds or dividend stocks like VTI or SCHD. That way, even if your emotions go wild, your money still sticks to the mission. Real investors treat their emotions like noise in the cockpit, acknowledge it, but don't let it touch the controls. It's how you build a money mindset that can weather any storm. Because if you keep letting your feelings run the show, you're never gonna hit long-term goals. You'll jump ship every time things get rough. But there's a better way. There's a mindset that helps you fly steady, even when the galaxy shakes. And it starts with how you place your bets. Putting all your cash into one shiny investment? That's like betting the entire rebellion on one X-Wing. Looks flashy, feels bold, but one wrong move and, boom, you're toast. A lot of folks throw everything into crypto, or that hot stock tip from a cousin. Real talk? That's not how wealth is built. Financial Education 101 says, diversify or die broke. It's not sexy, but it saves your butt. Think of the Mandalorian, he doesn't rely on just one weapon. He's got tools for every situation. Same goes for your money. You need a mix: real estate, index funds, dividend stocks, maybe a side hustle or two. Want to build passive income? Spread your bets. That way, if one sector tanks, like tech during a crash, you still got your rental property or ETF holding it down. Here's a move. Try the 40/30/20/10 method. 40% in long-term investments, S&P 500, real estate, 30% in medium-term, bonds, REITs, 20% in short-term cash or side hustles, 10% in higher-risk plays like crypto or startups. That keeps your money habits tight and your financial future protected. You're not just gambling, you're planning for real, lasting growth. Too many people want to feel like a hero by making one big move. But real heroes build empires by stacking smart decisions. You want that money mindset? It starts with understanding you don't need to win it all in one shot. You need to survive long enough to let your strategy play out. And speaking of long games, most people sleep on the power of compounding like it's some ancient Jedi trick they don't believe in. But the truth? It's the real money force they're not using. Imagine turning $100 a month into over $150,000 in 30 years, without doing anything wild. That's not magic, it's math. But folks want flashy finance tips instead of trusting consistent habits that actually work. Real wealth doesn't scream, it grows quietly. Think of Interstellar. Time worked differently there, right? Same deal here. Compounding warps time in your favor, if you're patient. You don't feel it year 1. Maybe not even year 5. But by year 15? It's like boom, you're flying through hyperspace while others are still stuck on the launch pad. Investing in index funds, dividend reinvestment plans, or even high-yield savings accounts can be your gateway to this slow-burn power. You want real-life examples? Look up Warren Buffett. 99% of his wealth came after age 50. That's compound growth flexing over time. You don't need $1 billion, you need consistency. Set up auto deposits to your IRA or Roth, reinvest those dividends, and stop touching your gains like they're snack money. These money habits feel small, but they lead to massive results. The ones who win this game aren't the fastest, they're the most consistent. Compounding is the most underrated personal finance tool out there, and the earlier you start, the bigger your edge. But hey, staying still while you wait for results ain't easy. And that's where the next big mistake shows up. You ever seen someone stick to a busted plan just cause it used to work? That's straight up Sith behavior. In the world of investments and personal finance, refusing to adapt is like trying to stream movies on dial-up. You're gonna get left behind. Markets shift, tech evolves, and the habits that made you money yesterday might sink you tomorrow. It's wild how people keep playing defense when the game's already moved to a whole new level. Take a page from Iron Man. Tony Stark didn't build the Mark I suit and call it a day. Nah, he kept tweaking, upgrading, evolving. Same goes for your money mindset. What worked in your 20s won't cut it in your 30s, and definitely not in your 50s. Maybe you started with budgeting apps like Mint, but now it's time to level up with tools like Anab or automated investing through apps like M1 Finance or Betterment. Flexibility is a major flex. The ones winning at this game know how to read the signs. Inflation? Recession fears? Changing interest rates? They pivot. Maybe you once chased crypto, now it's time to learn about REITs or dividend stocks. Or maybe your side hustle isn't hitting like before, it's okay to drop it and try something smarter. That's how you build passive income that survives storms and still stacks long-term wealth. Staying stuck in old ways just cause they're familiar is a one-way ticket to Brokeville. But those who keep learning, testing, and tweaking, they become the masters of their own financial education. And as you'll see next, some of the strongest money moves are actually ancient truths that never stop working. There's a reason ancient wisdom hits so hard, it survives because it works. Proverbs 21 verse 5 drops it plain and simple, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. But in this TikTok hyped world, people want success yesterday. They skip the boring stuff, budgeting, tracking spending, building good money habits, thinking they're too slow. But that slow grind? That's the real money force most folks aren't using. Think about the Karate Kid. Daniel didn't win because he got fancy fast, he waxed cars and painted fences. Day in, day out. That boring repetition built mastery. Same goes for personal finance. When you invest $300 a month for 30 years in an index fund like VTI, earning an average 8% return, you end up with over $400,000. Not flashy. Just consistent. Just real. Diligence might not get you likes or views, but it gets you freedom. Want to know how to make money? Automate your savings. Review your expenses weekly. Schedule monthly check-ins with yourself. Build a plan and stick to it. Stack that financial education. You don't need to leap, you need to march, steady and focused. Because slow money is smart money. And while everyone else is chasing trends like it's a scene from the Hunger Games, you'll be building something real, unshakable. But hey, what if I told you there's a way to speed up that slow grind without falling for risky shortcuts? Remember how frustrating it felt at the start, like you were stuck chasing quick wins, gambling your money, and letting fear run the show? Well, now you've seen a whole new way to look at money. Not just tips or hacks, but a complete shift in your mindset. You've learned how habits, patience, and smart investing can shape a future that's finally yours. That's the money force you've been missing, and now, it's right in your hands. So, let me ask you, are you really gonna go back to those old patterns? Or are you ready to start building wealth that actually sticks? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any more of these finance tips, personal finance habits, and investment strategies that could totally change the way you think about money. Seriously, every video is packed with things schools should have taught you but didn't. Now, if you're really serious about turning this around, like building passive income streams, eliminating debt for good, and staying calm even when your finances are on fire, then you need to check out the complete guide I put together, Holistic Health. Nourish your mind, balance your finances, transform your life. This isn't some vague theory, it's practical, tested stuff that shows you exactly how to get results. Click the link in the pinned comment now and start transforming your finances today. It's your time. Check out the material in the pinned comment.